What's up, everybody? And this is the final, not the final video of the year, but definitely the figure of the year. Now, we got honestly, a lot of figures to go through here. As you can see, right out in front of me is every single nominee for figure of the year. Now, I know I do a vast amount of different reviews, ranging from, Five Nights at Freddy's to Marvel Legends to, like Transformers and stuff, and even Sonic. So there's gonna be a lot of different winners here, a lot of different types. I'm not gonna do anything like, separatory with them or anything, just like I did with my last figure of the year kind of thing that I did. So, I will just announce them, each figure that does get picked, I'll just say, if it was the best Transformer in general, or, if it's just the best figure in general and everything. So we will pretty much get started onto the list and everything. Let's start with the top 10. So, number 10, and that figure is going to be the Ultimate Collector's Edition Shadow. Now, you guys are probably thinking, well, didn't this figure come out in 2024? Well, 2024 was the year of of Shadow, yes, but specifically this figure came out in 2025 when it actually started to ship out, when pre-orders actually started to get out and everything. And this is a great figure. Just putting some of its accessories off to the side. It's a it's a great Shadow figure. It's probably honestly the best Shadow figure I think we've ever gotten. Definitely the most detailed and uh, honestly really great looking Shadow. Let me just fix my camera real quick on him, but honestly, it is a really great Shadow figure. I love this thing, and you can see the holes on his back. It's because he did come with these Doom Wings, which I'll put in a second. But this is a great Shadow figure. The only thing that's really uh, hindering this figure is the fact that he doesn't really come with a whole lot. You do get these Doom Wings, which are cool, and it is from the Shadow the Hedgehog, Generations game, which arguably was an amazing game. Like, it was a really, really good game. I'll just put them to the back there. Just kind of angle my camera a little bit. But arguably, it was a really good game, and this is a really good collector's edition figure. He just needed more hands and more facial expressions. That's literally all he needed. Maybe a Chaos Emerald, but if they gave him all that, then he would definitely be higher on this list. He did get a cool display base and everything, but he's just missing so much that all the other collector's edition figures had, that it's kind of really hard for me to place him any higher just due to the lack of accessories. But he's got really good articulation. The Doom Wings are honestly really sick, so he deserves a spot on this list. Just for aura. I mean, just aura in general. I mean, he's a good ass figure, but just the aura. Now, for number 9 on my list, I had to kind of angle the camera out quite a bit. Because this one is a pretty big boy. Actually, the next two ones are actually pretty big boys. That being 86 Devastator, and he's probably not in frame. Well, actually, no, he is in frame. My bad. But 86 Devastator. Now, my camera's probably a bit fuzzy because of the aspect ratio and everything, but 86 Devastator, man. So I wasn't sure whether I should even put a combiner on this list, just because it is multiple Transformers all at once, but the thing I'm doing with combiners is I'm just reviewing them all at once, just as one solid team, because I feel like it's unfair to really, review the individual bots, considering it connects to form a bigger robot. But that's just my philosophy. I know there's a lot of people that do things a little bit more differently and review them as they release. I'm just preferring to review things when, if it's part of a team, I wait for the team. just to get one whole video out there and kill multiple birds with one stone. But Devastator deserves a spot on this list. Devastator is just such an amazing figure. Like, oh my god. He does have issues, like mainly that back. If this whole section was just chopped off, perfect combiner. It'd be like the most perfect combiner ever. I do think maybe he needed some more articulation in the hands. He definitely cannot also hold his gun. It's very loose in his hands. But he has amazing articulation. He's extremely G1 accurate. And usually I don't like the G1 Devastator. I know. A lot of Transformers fans are probably gonna bash at me for that, but uh, I was never really a big fan of Devastator. I was always been a more of a Bruticus kind of guy, just because I love the Combaticons. But um, I mean, this Devastator is just great, all around great, amazing, fantastic figure. My only gripe and the reason why he is low on the list is because of the individual bots. Both the mainly I forgot their names for a second. Mainly the I'll just say the limbs. This limb mode bot right here has some issues with them. I'm having a brain fart, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to figure out who's who, just because like that's the annoying thing. Sometimes I can't tell who's who just because they're all the same color. And I know that you're probably thinking, well, you kind of sound like a toddler saying that. Like, yes, and look, guys, I'm a huge Transformers fan, but I mix these guys' names up so many times, except for like Scrapper and Mixmaster and Long Haul and Hightower. But I always mix up the arms. It's always the arms with me. But anyway, everybody is pretty much solid. I feel like some of them have a lot of different limitations and such, but some of the most limiting one is just this guy on the arm here. He's very limiting, but all in all, it does make a very nice bot. And we are staying in this aspect ratio for number 8, and that, of course, belongs to the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Venom. And there's a hair on my setup. Anyway, it does belong to the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Venom. Now, this figure is amazing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I absolutely hate this version of Venom. It's the it's probably the one version of Venom I hate the absolute most, just because it's just not Venom to me in character and everything. And I don't know why they didn't go with Eddie. I'm really hoping for the Insomniac uh, Venom solo game that they honestly do Eddie this time, finally, because Harry Osborn Venom just does not work. It never did. Not once, not a single time did Harry Osborn Venom ever work even remotely close. I don't even know why they went with it. But this figure is amazing. Character flaws aside and everything, not even character flaws, just bad character, but bad character aside, this figure is amazing. It is extremely posable. You got the toe articulation. I did slime him up, but you got pretty much, and he's pinless too. You got articulation everywhere, butterfly joints that are actually pretty good for a figure this size. He's got really good movement. He's just like huge. Got the diaphragm, the cut there. He's got the double ball um, joint situation going on for the head. Got amazing accessories. I love this head sculpt with the like goo slime coming out the mouth. This is an amazing figure. He's super posable, really great. Highly recommend him. Even if you don't like the character, he's just a really great Venom figure in general. And Hasbro did absolutely cook with this Venom. And moving along, number 7 has to go to the Marvel Legends Daredevil Born Again Punisher. What a great figure. Um, I was really excited to get this Punisher because I always wanted a John Berthal Punisher. I felt like I was waiting for so long, and I thought we would never get it. And then the Daredevil Born Again series came out, and then they revealed we were getting a new Marvel Legends Punisher. And as soon as those pre-order, those promo pics came out for this Punisher, I was so excited to finally get a Punisher. So he absolutely deserves to be on this list. I was so excited for this thing. I absolutely love him, and he just honestly, it's just so good. His articulation is really great, all things considered. Small hindrances around the waist area, but all in all, it's a really great Punisher. It's really, really great. He does look like he has something on his lip there a little bit. I think that might have been from something that was not on there when I had him. Uh, Probably a little scuff from something, but I'll get that off. But he's an amazing figure. I mean, the head sculpt is pretty damn good for the most part. He's got really great head articulation. Comes with really great accessories. Could maybe use maybe a little bit different hands, maybe a different facial expression. Even though I still think the head is pretty good, but he absolutely deserves this spot because I mean, look at that chest, that like the vest and everything. It just looks so nice. I definitely need to get like maybe a new head for him or maybe like a trench coat or something. But this figure is so versatile with the amount of weapons you could give him. It is absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I kind of messed up. All right. I hope you guys don't hate me for this, but this is not gonna. I don't think this is gonna be a top 10 video. This is gonna be a little bit more a top 10 because I kind of accidentally picked out more than 10. So this is gonna be a little bit more than a top 10. Next year I'll do better. I promise. It's just there were so many good things that came out this year. So you know what? I'm gonna break the rules a little bit. So we're breaking rules today, not like I usually do anyway. Um, so we'll have to figure out which part I'm on. So things are gonna be rearranged around a little bit. All right. So there's 13 total. So I actually picked three extra than what I really need to. I had a hard time deciding like good stuff this year, but I mean at least we had a lot of honorable mentions, so it kind of cancels out. I did get a lot this year, so it'll be top 13. So everything's still in the same order as I did it, so nothing has changed. So that means that Shadow was 13, Devastator was 12, Venom was 11, and then Punisher was 10. So then now we should be on 9. All right, so for 9. Ooh boy, this one was a bit difficult. So I decided for 9, I'm gonna go with the PC Toys Illusionist Mysterio. Now this is a great figure. I love this Mysterio figure. It's amazing. It has so many good qualities. It's probably the best 6-inch Mysterio that we have on the market, but it's not without its issues. The hands sometimes have a hard time going in. And the cape sometimes becomes a little bit of a hassle to deal with and everything. And at least with my copy, there's been some issues, like the arm here loves to pop out, but the good thing is it's not broken. The arm just pops right back in. It's just due to the suit and everything and like moving the arms and stuff. I thought the arm broke. It actually didn't. It's perfectly fine. There are also other issues like with the boots. When if they pop off, it's really hard to get them back in and level with the other boot. So mine seems a little bit off. So it does have its fair share of issues, but it's still a great looking figure. It's basically the Hot Toys Mysterio just scaled down, honestly, and uses the same material for the cape too. Because I used to have the Hot Toys Mysterio, and that was a great figure, and I missed that thing. But now I have this, so I have like a mini version to remind myself of it, which is pretty cool. And plus, the fishbowl lights up. And if you get the deluxe version of this, you get the nice display base and some extra accessory options like the Jake Gyllenhaal head. Unfortunately, my copy, I did not get a headpiece that goes into the actual Jake Gyllenhaal head to actually mount it, so I had to like Frankenstein my own little hot glue ball socket to try and to actually make the Jake Gyllenhaal head actually work. So that is a downside. I mean, this is a third-party figure, so there's liable for things to be forgotten and maybe misplaced or gotten rid of. But I love Mysterio from Far From Home. I know it's not everybody's favorite movie, but I love Mysterio, and this was my favorite Mysterio design out there. Period. Right next to the Spectacular Spider-Man and the '90s series Mysterio. So this was a really nice welcome addition, plus the wired cape and everything. It's a really great figure. So number 8 has to go to Mezco Ghostface. This figure was absolutely amazing. I love this thing. I've been wanting a 6-inch Ghostface figure for a long time, because for a long time I've had to deal with the NECA figures, and oh god, those figures, it's always a hit or miss, and especially with NECA nowadays with their quality control, it is more often times than not not good. But then Mezco came out and made one, and it is amazing. It's accurate. It has really nice mask swapping gimmicks. You get lots of weapons and accessories. You get the bendy cloak, like tassel pieces, so you can pose him up. He has just a really nice looking cloak that is very accurate from all angles, and it just looks really nice. You got the beautiful Buck 120 knife there that just glistens with the light. This is a beautiful figure, wired hood and everything, and even underneath the cloak, you have like this like whole like fabric body and everything underneath there, which is really nice and cool. So it just feels like it's a real person wearing this cloak, and it's just a nice figure, and at a pretty good price too. And you get so many accessories that you can use with other figures that this is really worth your money. But yeah, this is just an amazing figure all around, and that is why he is on this list. So, number 7 is another Mezco figure, and it is one that was pretty recently. I wouldn't say picked up or purchased because it like came in. I just haven't gotten to be able to actually review it. And that, of course, is the Mezco Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. This thing is absolutely amazing. I love this Mezco Deadpool figure. It is so nice. It has so many like just like nice like qualities about it. The suit, like the fact that the swords actually can come out of the sheaths. Take notes, figure arts. Next time you make a Deadpool, maybe you should make the swords detachable from the sheaths. That'd be nice. Um, but this one has also magnetic eyes, which is a lot better than the figure arts version. This figure does not come without its fair share of issues here and there. Mine does have like some sewing issues right there. Not that it's gonna rip or anything; it's just like bunched up. Also, my one of my holsters is glued in a bit strange, so it just looks off. Mine just might be a copy that just has its own issues. Mine did have a hole in the back there when I got it. My stuff seems to get a lot of the issues, which does kind of suck sometimes. But overall, this is a really nice sculpt, a beautiful bodysuit. He is pretty articulated, although I won't be articulating him too much just because I'm afraid of the pleather sections um, around like the chest area and shoulders. So he may be more of a museum pose figure for the most part. Maybe I might test out some theories and see how well he does over time. But again, that is something I also am a bit afraid of doing. To be fair, another issue is like his belt, like having troubles like being in the middle. But overall, it is a nice and beautiful figure. His beautiful weaponry. This is just an amazing Deadpool figure, and probably one of the best. Thank God I only have to get one more Deadpool figure to kind of complete my little Deadpool movie collection, which would be the Mayfex one. I just pre-orders keep selling out, so I can't get it. But one feature I did want to show, even though I haven't reviewed this guy yet, and he will be getting a review very soon, is these guns. I love this. Just look. You can actually cock the gun back, which is really sick. And then also, believe it, yeah, this one works. The mags actually come out. I just think that's just something like really cool. And to do it at this scale, I feel like honestly, like Figure Arts could have done something like that, but they just don't for some reason. But yeah, I'll be talking more about this guy when I do a full on review of him. But that's why he is on the list. Such a good figure.
Told you I'd make the top 13. And my comic variant said I wouldn't make it. Unbelievable. Guess who gets to keep their job?
As for number six is going to be a group of figures, and you'll probably wonder why, because I couldn't really pick a specific one out of them all, just because they're all really, really great. And these have been the highlight of the year for me, so they absolutely deserve a spot. And even even though they are customs, they still deserve to be at this spot, just simply for what they are and what they represent for me and my long-awaited patience for figures of these characters to come out. That, of course, belongs to Jazzwares Endo series. Withered animatronics. Well, just in general, the Jazzwares Endo series. Because in general, these guys are great. And of course, I also have Foxy because I bought two Foxies so I could have classic Foxy displayed too. These deserved a spot. Because, and honestly, you're probably going to see uh, at least maybe one or two of these guys maybe on the Customs of the Year video too. But these guys deserve a spot because, for one, I've been waiting for a long time for Withered animatronic merch. I love Five Nights at Freddy's a lot. I don't want you to keep blocking up Foxy too much there. But I love the Withered animatronics. I've been waiting for Withered animatronic merch for so long. Unbelievably long. I mean, oh boy, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for a long time, but Funko never delivered. Then Jazzwares got the license, and then I saw the leaks, and then we got promo pictures, and I was so excited. Now, it is unfortunate that when we did get them, they did look really bad. Well, I mean, most of them didn't look that bad. They were honestly fine. Foxy was the only one who suffered a lot, but obviously I customized him, and he's great now. But, and obviously they all look great now, even though a lot of these guys will be getting updates come springtime when I have more Jazzwares parts available to me when the new stuff comes out. But the thing is that not only do they deserve to be on the list because they're Wither animatronics, but they deserve to be on the list because, as Five Nights at Freddy's fans, I feel like we've all been wanting this for a long time. Figures of Wither animatronics and figures from a company who cares about, the brand that they're working on. And I feel like Jazzwares does care. Yes, I know everyone's probably going to have their own gripes with the figures and everything, and, not everyone's going to get what they want and such. Like, I get it. They're not perfect. But for $25, you get an extremely articulated endoskeleton, you get two suit options, and you just get a really great figure all around, and you get just a fun experience to, build them and to, just experience, like, and just have fun. And I feel with a lot of figures nowadays, it's really hard to have fun because a lot of it is just so collector oriented, and a lot of brands like Hasbro and sometimes McFarlane and uh, something about any other company, let me know. But it just feels like a lot of other companies are just so focused on just making money and listening a little bit less to what the fans really want and this and that, and a lot of things feel really 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 corporate. I guess I'll put it that way. Not to the level that Funko is, but still, in a sense, it just a lot of things just feel very, I don't know, soulless when it comes to certain toy communities. But Jazzwares, they've been listening, they've been making really great stuff, and I just want to take this like small little moment here to just really say thank you to Jazzwares for making this happen, because in a sense, like, this kind of brought back the my I mean, my love for Five Nights at Freddy's has always been there, but these figures in general just really brought back my love for the franchise and appreciation. My love for the franchise never left, trust me, but I've always been wanting to like just be like I wish I could. I just had this thing in my head all the time where it's like, man, I just wish I could collect Five Nights at Freddy's figures, but unfortunately Funko makes garbage. So I just didn't for a long time. And then I was so happy when Funko lost that license and Jazzwares got it, and then now we're getting stuff like this. And not only is it good stuff on its own, but it's stuff I can work on. It's stuff that I can make cool things with, like this, and especially Withered Foxy. Like these are things I can work on, things I can put my expertise and my craft into, and every Jazzwares figure I see is a blank canvas for me to work on, and that makes me the most happiest person in the world. And I absolutely love Jazzwares for that. And I hope they continue to keep the license. I hope they continue to keep going because, mark my words, if they make a Springtrap, I'm gonna do exactly what I did with Withered Foxy and go all in, but even more so on a Springtrap figure because I'm going to do my absolute best on Springtrap, trust me. But this spot is a well-deserved spot for the Jazzwares Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, and I could not think of any better spot. They aren't high on the list, just for some small things here and there, but they deserved a decently high spot because the other stuff I have on this list definitely does deserve their higher spot, but these guys deserved their well-deserved spot. As for number 5, aside from almost tearing up there, talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, because honestly, I was really happy that that stuff came out. And just relit that kind of spark in me. But anyway, as for number 5, it's Maximum Deadpool. I mean, he's a great figure. There's a lot to like about him. I did recently just do a video on him, so he's it's not just recency bias. I've had this figure for a while. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing the video until recently. So I just love how my audio cut out, so I'm gonna have to voice over what I was saying in this video, or at least in this portion of this video. So overall, this is a pretty decent, not Mayfax, Maximum series Deadpool. The only thing bringing him down is the gummy arms and the movement in legs and the stubby swords. But other than that, he is a nice entry into the Maximum series. It's just unfortunate. I just wish he maybe came with some extra head sculpts or hands instead of Dupe, but I mean, Dupe was fine. Regardless, it's a pretty nice Deadpool. It's a really good comic version of Deadpool. I was almost hesitant to even get another Maximum figure after Spidey, but to be honest, it's just a decent little Deadpool figure, and nothing really too much extra I can really say about it. It does suck that my audio cut out because I'm sure there's a lot of other things I had said, but other than that, anything else about this figure, it does come with a lot of cool guns and everything, and his articulation is alright for the most part, just the ankles could definitely use a little bit.
Told that movie variant me that I'd beat him. He just didn't believe me. Can you believe it? Even with that new model, he still lost. A bit sad, to be honest.
As for number 4, that belongs to the Last Night Optimus Prime. I mean, not the Last Night Optimus Prime, the Leader Class Age of Extinction Optimus Prime from Studio Series. Now, I originally was going to hate this figure, and I originally said the Premier Edition Optimus Knight was better than this figure. Boy, was I wrong when this figure actually came out and I had it in hand. I ended up actually selling the Premier Edition Last Night Optimus Prime because this thing is amazing, and honestly, it's one of my best, or at least better, Transformers paint jobs that I've done. Because this thing is just absolutely amazing, and he's definitely gonna be on the top 10 customs um, video too as well. Because oh my god, I honestly sometimes I envy like and wonder how I even did things myself. But this figure is just absolutely amazing. I don't know how they managed to get this design to work in toy form, but it just works here so well. And especially if you paint him up all accurate, like he just has so much presence on the shelf. Sometimes I still pick him up and just mess around with him, just because I mean he's so great. And for one, the transformation is fun. For two, he's just accurate, and he's just good. Like, there's not really much else I can really say about him other than he's just a really good Knight Prime. And never liked the Knight Prime design, but this figure alone just makes me honestly really like the Knight Prime design. Because this thing is amazing. I mean, this thing is just cool and just so amazing. I love this thing. I love this thing to death. But yeah, ooh, such a great figure. And I mean, yeah, he does have the backpack and chunky legs, but honestly, I think this figure really works, and he just deserved this spot on the list. As for number 3, that belongs to Studio Series 86 liter class Megatron. Now, there was a lot of controversy for this Megatron when he was announced, shown, and released all at the same time. Now, I get it. Megatron in the G1 cartoon and in the movie turned into a gun. And the fact he can't be a gun does still upset me. But to be fair, this is probably the best G1 Megatron mainline figure that, well, at least Generations mainline figure that we have ever gotten. This thing is absolutely amazing. Now, his arm cannon does look a little bit inaccurate, but DNA Design is coming up out with an upgrade kit, which I do have pre-ordered. So this guy will be getting his upgrade kit. My first actual DNA upgrade kit, which is kind of wild because I was going to be getting other DNA upgrade kits before, but I just ended up not getting them. So I saw the Megatron one up for pre-order, and I was like, you know what, I'm grabbing that one. So this Megatron will be getting his upgrade kit, and oh my god, this thing is. I still love this thing, even though he turns into a tank. When I flip this guy around, you can't even tell he turns into a tank. You could say, oh, but the treads things on like texture on the back. Gun Megatron had that texture too on the back. It was like to symbolize his stock handle, and honestly, you can't even tell. I mean, sure, there's those little two little bits there, but at the same time, there is nothing else on him that really represents, hey, look, I turned into a tank. He still looks like he just straight up just turned into a gun. And it's amazing. Like, this figure is just a work of actual art. This thing is beautiful. I love this. This is my favorite Megatron I own now. Well, one of them. I still really do like my masterpiece '07 Megatron. That thing is amazing. But this thing is really great. It's a beautiful Megatron, and I can't not stop messing around with it. Even though he can't turn into a gun, they did give you an accessory of a gun mode version of himself that other characters can hold and handle and everything, which is a good compromise. My only gripe is I wish he did come with the mace, even though he didn't use it in the movie. But G1 Megatron is just so synonymous with that mace, and I do kind of wish maybe he came with the gun that he used too. He does come with the sword, which is cool. But I just wish he came with the other stuff. But he deserved to be on this list in this spot because this is just a beautiful and awesome Megatron. All right, number 2. I didn't know exactly who to swap out for either of these, but I think for number two, I'm gonna have to give it to the Mafex No Way Home, Toby. Now, the only reason he didn't make number one is only for a couple reasons. One of them being, well, his original head was pretty inaccurate. Um, but obviously we have a custom head now, and the only reason I haven't reviewed this guy is because I've been waiting on the custom head because it took a long time, just due to some shipping issues. But now I got it, and now he looks perfect. Um, my only other gripe is those shoulders. Those shoulders look really weird. But to be fair, this is probably the best Toby Spider-Man figure we have on the market in 6-inch scale at the moment. This thing is wonderful. I love this thing. It is super posable, super articulated, comes with really great accessories, has amazing Toby head sculpts. This is just an all-around beautiful figure. Probably the best Toby figure I think that has ever been released. Just a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure. And he deserves his second spot. Now, the number one spot is going to go to a figure that might come off a little bit controversial. But, when am I not controversial? Here and there, at times. This one was kind of a controversial pick for me because, not gonna lie, I did talk a lot of shit about it. But, you know, after the specific line that this figure came from kept getting more releases, I started to kind of realize that maybe I was a little too hard on it, and maybe I wasn't grateful enough. As to which, that spot goes to Maximum Series Spider-Man. Now, look, I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, well, you made like 2 hate videos, this and that, and oh, well, you were saying all these QC issues and stuff. Mine personally didn't have too many QC issues or too many bad issues to really go over. The only thing I still think is really bad about this figure is maybe that Peter Parker head sculpt a little bit still, and obviously the price, because holy shit, that price. Oh boy. Yeah. The price was just not it. But to be honest, this is probably the most posable Marvel Legends Spider-Man I think I've ever had in my collection ever. There is not a pose that this figure cannot really do. I can pretty much do almost any pose perfectly with this thing. Now, mind you, there are some I just freaking punched my light. Now, mind you, there are some poses with this figure that I like are a little bit struggling to do, but for the most part, you can do a lot of those poses in famous fireman poses with this Maximum Spidey. And honestly, this thing it's pretty great. You get honestly an abundance of accessories. You get, the web shooter hands, you get a whole array of hands, you get some stupid web accessories, you get some cool web accessories, you get cool whipping hands with web coming out. That's really sick. Um, the other head sculpts are iffy. I just like the regular one it came with in general anyway. But you get a lot with this figure that is really good, and it is a shame that the last two, or at least the next two releases for the Maximum series that came out after this guy, were just kind of lacking. And due to those other releases coming out, it made me kind of rethink how I felt about this one. And, the Deadpool Maximum wasn't terrible. It was like a middle ground between the Hulk and Spidey. Like, it was reaching Spidey level, but it was still lackluster like the Hulk in certain aspects. The Hulk was just abysmal. That thing is just ridiculous. But this this was a really great Spider-Man figure, and not only is it a pretty damn good Spider-Man figure, it's based off of comic art. It's based off of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man comic art, and this thing is it's pretty good. You know what? I admit, Hasbro did they did a good figure. They did a genuinely good Spider-Man figure here. But that being said, that is pretty much the, I guess we'll say, top 13 list. Now I want you guys to just enjoy a little montage of these figures in some of their more, you know, character inspired kind of poses. Just for some pics and everything and whatnot. And then I'll group them up together and we'll just do one final little farewell to 2025's top figures of the year.
Waking up every night to a kick in the face. All your dreams are gone. You'll never leave this place. Made a habit of falling into holes. This joke is getting kinda. I've heard it 1,000 times before. It's not that funny anymore. Everything's falling apart. I'm tired of being You come right now. You killed it now. The sands out there. Going out of
And here they all are, all together. Oh man, this year was a pretty big year for figures. And my bad to make it a top 13 instead of a top 10. I kind of picked way too much. I mean, there was just a lot of good stuff that was released. And, I love every single one of these. But, it was a pretty good year for figures, all things considered. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this top 13 figure video. Hope you guys enjoyed that little montage of some pretty decently iconic poses for these characters. And I'll hope to see you guys in the next video, which should be my definitely a top 10 this time of customs that I did this year. And don't worry, some of these figures that haven't gotten a review yet will definitely be getting their respective reviews. It's just, a matter of time. But hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I've heard it 1,000 times before, and it's just not that funny anymore.